Alright, we're going to be watching Parkside, who's playing Kiriko. This is Bronze 5 on what I think is console. I feel like I have a gun to my head telling me to heal, heal, heal. I'm currently Bronze 5. I'm getting very contradictory advice from YouTube. I'm supposed to heal bot and stay in the back, or am I supposed to go on flanks? Whenever I go on flanks for 5 seconds, my entire team is critical. It feels like I can't do anything or stop healing, or else the entire team will fall apart. My tank on Hollywood was literally taking so much damage, and I heal botted him, and he still kept dying while the Tracer was complaining about getting no heals when I really had no choice. I generally don't know how to keep this up. My flanks also don't often work. Yeah, I guess that one kill was nice, but I died 5 times last time. It feels like if I'm not sniping people, why am I playing Kiriko? Also, what 1v1 should I do / don't? I can barely kill a Moira without licking their heads. So it's flicking their heads, and Symmetra is just impossible. When do or don't I flank? If everyone is dead and coming back as a team, why would I flank? If there's currently a team fight, should I just abandon my team with no guaranteed gains? What am I supposed to do when the enemy isn't running a squishy comp? Here's basically what I do. Go in, try to kill, Suzu, teleport back, assuming I don't die or get a buggy TP. AKA Awkward's 4-step plan. It worked at first, but now I can't hit a shot. In order to climb, I need to be the difference between the enemy and my team, and currently I'm no different than the Spectator Mercy. I don't intend on ever swapping heroes unless the enemy has hard dive, and I generally hate playing Moira. Kiriko's really fun. I'd rather master her early on over any other support. And they posted a bunch of replay codes. Okay, so I took a look at this, and I thought it was going to be a quick one where I'm like, hey, let me identify some moments where like maybe you're making the right call. And I really feel like I just need to do the whole video, or at least a good chunk of this game, because I'm going to guess you're relatively new to Overwatch, one. Number two is you're currently in a rank where no one has any idea what they are doing. Like, this is very, very different than the gameplay of, I would say, 95% plus of other Overwatch players. And I will explain why. Through the course of the video. The good part is it should be very easy to climb out of this rank to do relatively basic things. And I know everyone harps on Awkward, being like, oh, it's like so great, and Awkward's like, oh, do damage, blah, blah, blah. But like that only works if you hit shots. If you don't hit shots, then like it's gonna be really hard to climb. Also, I think there's a lot of other like fundamental issues that you have that don't really have anything to do with damage. But let's start. To begin with, your team is not even all here. Okay, this is a ranked game. I confirmed that this is in fact a ranked game. One of your DPS just spawned, and the other DPS has not even chosen their hero yet. This is not typical. I would say that at my level, I never see this happen. Virtually, I would say maybe 1 out of every 50 games do I see something like this happens. Because this basically dooms your first fight before it even begins, because these guys haven't chosen. Now you'd be like, oh, it sucks. Like, how do I play around it? You don't. Like, they just... if they don't come, they don't come. But the thing is, the other team's just likely to have that happen either. In fact, they're more likely because there's 5 strangers versus 4 strangers. But something to note here is I would be aware, be like, oh, I'm missing 2 DPS. I'm not going to try to be super aggressive here. I mean, like, initially it's fine. I'm going to play back and stall out and give time for my DPS to come back. Just as if they got picked at the beginning of the game, right? Imagine both of the DPS were right here and they just died. I'm playing from that perspective, like, look, how do I stall for time to let the DPS get here? Because you're not going to win a 3v5. Okay. So you crouch here. For the record, you are very visible here. This is not obscured in any way, and for some reason, nobody notices you while they're walking out. You are on all of their screens, like, fully visible right now to all of the heroes on the opposing team, like, as this door opens. I want to make that abundantly clear. You are in a level that people don't notice you standing still in a doorway. In fact, you moved into vision, which makes it even worse, right? Because they can see the movement. Nobody notices you here, despite the fact this is a very common spot for people to be. So, that. Alright, you see the Moira. Moira fires a damage orb at you. You should not challenge this, because damage orb does 50 damage a second, which will kill you after 4 seconds. Instead, you try throwing some shots here. You end up taking 80 damage, and now you need to pull back. So now you're low. And for the record, you can heal right now. Just because you can be damage focused doesn't mean you don't heal at all. You should still get healing in because it's free. There's no one to attack right now. Just heal, right? And I'm going to link my video to Kiriko weaving as well. You should be doing 2 attacks and a heal whenever possible, unless you're on like a hard flank, like over here, let's say. Now this is a good spot to be. Let's say hypothetically you're over here and everyone's like out of healing range, then you're only attacking. But generally speaking, you should always be healing when you get a chance and then attack between the heals. So you see how your Ryan has taken some damage, not a lot. He's taking 25 damage. You're not healing him. You're also not attacking. So you're doing nothing right now. You're literally just standing still, looking at your Rhine who's taking damage. So part of winning games is doing everything you can to help win. And I think we would agree that healing helps you win more than not healing, right? Doing nothing, right? Healing versus damage, maybe it gets a little, blurry as to which one's best, but healing is certainly better than doing literally nothing, right? Your Baptiste took a little bit of damage there, your Ryan's taking damage, and you're just standing still. So, okay, that's already like a major mistake, which is why I say that like your gameplay does not look anything like what Overwatch looks like in general. So you come out here, you decide to go for your flank, you drop down. I don't know how you don't see this Kiriko here, but you decide to not engage her and you just drop down main looking at the spawn for some reason. The Moira is in fact behind you. I think you're hunting for the Moira right now. Moira's not a great fight for you because again, damage orb plus fade plus leech makes her not an easy kill for you. You try to attack her. This is a tough angle to attack. Attacking people above or below you is harder because you really need to land headshots. She's also strongly favored here. The moment she pops damage orb, there's basically no way you can win this fight unless you're a god tier aimer. You attack, you're not close to hitting any of those shots. Alright, so first attack, she's not even on your screen. That's attack into the wall. Here's the second attack. Again, she's not even, literally not even on your screen. This attack, she is on your screen, but then you turn away. So of those 3 attacks, none of them had a prayer of landing because she's literally not on your screen when you're attacking. And then you turn, and then you Suzu yourself, and then you look for a swift step target. There's nobody there. So you're like, oh shoot, and now you walk in the Mega, and now you're just walking away. This Moira could easily have just killed you just by leeching you by now. She fades here for no reason. I think to try to follow you. Yeah, I guess she has trouble pathing, so she's fading to follow you. And you walk in, and again, your team was down 2, but effectively down 3 because you didn't do anything really there. Though I guess you sort of occupied the Moira. But what's going to happen here, right, if we rewind a little bit, is they're going to be pushing 4 people into your 2 people over here. You could be here healing the Rhine, getting some attacks in, heal, attack, attack, heal, attack, attack, heal, attack, attack, right? You could definitely save the Rhine right here with Suzu when healing. He definitely would not have died here, but he dies, and once your tank dies, the fight's over. So what you're doing right now is not conducive at all to winning. I don't care what awkward says, like, this is a gross misinterpretation of what awkward means. I'm very confident, right? I have not really seen this stuff, but like hearing enough about it from other people, I feel like this is a gross misinterpretation of what awkward is saying. This is not helpful in any way. Okay, so you're gonna come out here, and one of the things you mentioned is the Tracer asked for healing a lot, and you weren't healing her. Well, Tracer's missing 75 health right now. When you fire Fudas, you fire 10 of Fudas at a time, right? The paper Fudas are the paper trails. Each one heals like 11 health. Okay, so 110 total. And you can fire. Blue means it's tracking, or blue means it's not tracking. Yellow means it's tracking a target. So you should be aiming at the Tracer. So you see only 2 of your Fudas are at the Tracer. So you could have done 110 healing, but you actually did 22 healing. That's not great. So you see your Tracer's here at 50 health. Once again, you look at your healing. It's not even close to the Tracer. You see how much of it is just missing her completely. You managed to heal her finally up to full. Right? So finally you got the heal, which is great. But I would identify your aim is a massive problem. It is a huge problem. And I'm not saying this like generally like, oh, this is an issue for climbing to silver or gold or whatever. Like, I don't think you can climb out of bronze 5 right now with the aim that you have. Like, your aim is a massive problem. Like, you can't hit an ally who's like basically stationary in front of you with a tracking ability. You know what I mean? Like, this is gonna be a problem, and there's no way that I can sugarcoat this in any way. Like, you have to, especially as Kiriko, who's a very precise hero, and if you like playing Kiriko, you're free to play Kiriko, right? I think it's a great idea, but you got to be able to hit those, right? Certainly the healing at a minimum you have to be able to hit. So your Tracer goes in right now. This is kind of a weird situation because I'd be like, in general, this is a bad time to be going in, but if your Tracer's going in, I would just follow her like this and make sure she gets healing on the way in. But you don't heal her, so she's going to walk up here, and then because she's low, the soldier's going to kill her really fast. Now, she could have survived there. She could have blinked. She could have rewound. She could have just not walked up those stairs. But you could have made it easier for her by healing her up to full. Okay, so it's a bigger mistake for the Tracer, but it's also a mistake by you to just not have been able to follow and heal her to potentially try to contest this point, even though there's no way you can contest this point. So Surgeon steps into you. The moment the Tracer dies, there's like no way to really contest this point. At this point, you should be like, oh, I just need to leave. You could have just swift stepped to the Baptiste, for example, and just gone out. There's no reason to be in this room. And my guess is you're new to Overwatch because this is not a room that fighting should be happening in once point is capped. Like, the moment point's capped, you should be out of this room because it's really hard to fight in because there's no cover, you're exposed to high ground, and the Sigma's going to walk in, and he's just going to kill you. So you're grossly out of position right now. You should be over here, right? Keeping your Sigma alive, getting some attacks in, etc., right? Or healing your Torb or whatever it is, attacking the soldier. Anything that's not standing on the front line getting obliterated by their team. Alright, so we're going to fast forward a little bit. You decide to take the flank here. So one thing to think about is staggering. So you / the soldier were the first ones to die. You see that the other 3 teammates died later. That's why they're so far back. You're currently fighting 2 on 5. And as a general rule, fighting 2 on 5 is not a good idea. The odds of you winning that fight are close to 0. But you're looking for a pick, and if you can do that safely, that's fine. Safely would mean, like, look, can I get a pick from here? Oh, I'm getting pressured. Okay, I'm going to Swift Step or Suzu or whatever to run away. You're going to crouch here. For the record, you are visible on all of their screens. Right here. Right? It's like they can see you. The crouching is not, this is not Overwatch is not a stealth game, right? this is like, you are very visible to Kiriko. She's just standing on cart, right? Right now, she can see you the whole time. And you wait a super long time to do your first attack. Right? Like, you wait a really long time trying to line that up. You're attacking this Kiriko. You're going to win this kill in the, this fight in the Kiriko because she literally just runs in a straight line at you. So, good. Great. I mean, that's not going to happen pretty much outside of Bronze 5, but okay, cool. You got a pick, right? That's good. So now we're in at this point, a 5-on-4 situation. You're going to come in. You're going for the back line. Hit the Moira, you force fade. Great. You look to see the Moira faded backwards. She didn't. As a general rule, Moiras will always fade in the direction they're facing. It's a relatively advanced technique to fade the other direction. So if she's facing forwards, she's going to fade forwards. So you see right... shoot, I should have paused in the right time. So right now, you see how the Moira is facing forwards? So she's going to fade at the last moment. She actually turns the last moment and then fades, but then she ends up back in the cart. But I could tell from the angle here, the Moira is probably going to end up forwards, not backwards. Because fade's not going to take her that far. It'll only take her like over here, and she could potentially die over here. But anyway, not a big deal. Moira dies here. Okay, we got 2 picks. Great. We can go in. You get headshot the soldier. Good. I would be careful about walking this close to people, but Kiriko's not a great close range combatant, but sure, we'll take it. You do a Swift Step here. That's totally unnecessary. I think you're trying to Swift Step to your Sigma, which is the right call, right? I think that you could have Swift Step, for example, right now, right? Suzu'd and then healed and then kept fighting. You know, like keeping your Sigma alive is also important, right? Getting a pick or saving a teammate from getting picked are both equivalent in value. So saving a teammate is just as good as getting a pick, right? Because your Sigma is right about to die right now, and he does in fact die. But this is entirely preventable. You had a lot of time to save your Sigma here, right? You had, in fact, could have Swift Step right there. You just saw the indicator, right? He's low. He's not being healed. He really needs healing. Really needs healing. Really needs, like, you had a lot of time here to save. Okay? And instead of putting so much pressure on yourself to get kills, if you just save your Sigma, that's just as good as a kill because it prevents a teammate from dying. Right? Either way, it leads to a numerical advantage. You easily could save your Sigma here. So just because you're damaging doesn't mean that you don't heal at all. You have to constantly keep evaluating what is the highest value action for me to be taking right now. The odds of me saving the Sigma here are 100%. Right? There is literally no way the Sigma and Reaper could kill the Sigma if I Swift Step here, Suzu, and heal him. Right? Me plus Baptiste, no chance the Sigma dies here. But you getting a kill here is not guaranteed, right? You have to hit shots. It's tough to hit shots. Also, Sigma and Reaper are both pretty tanky. It's tough to get kills in that situation, especially from behind. So, just something to note, right? Like, do the best thing for the moment. Don't just go for damage alone. If you want a purely damage-focused playstyle, I think you should play DPS. And then you don't need to worry about the healing part of your job at all. Right? And your life's a lot easier, right? You don't have to worry about healing. Play like Hanzo, for example, who's also a projectile hero, also does a ton of damage on headshots. In fact, headshots instantly kill. That could be a very, very good choice for you if you like that style. Or Genji, for example. Again, how I mentioned before is that, like, look, you killed the Kiriko because she ran a straight line. So she's going to kill you because you're running a straight line just sideways, not forwards. So look how you're just running to the straight line to the right, and she just leads you the whole way. Right? There's no dodging, right? No left-right dodging here at all. You just run in a straight line and she kills you. Stuff like that is like a completely unacceptable death. Like that's a huge death right now that puts your teammates behind right now. And now they have a lot of momentum. You come back to the fight late. It allows the other team to walk into you, right? And now you're in big trouble. So good shots in the Moira, but the problem is you don't have the numbers advantage right now. So 1, 2, 3 against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's no real way to win this fight, right? Even with good shots here, you've already lost 1, you've lost 2. Like there's nothing you can do in the situation because you're staggered. Your death doesn't seem like a big deal, but it was a huge deal. You should not be dead right now, right? You should not be dead right now. And if you're not dead, then you could be out here, right, helping your Tracer out, who I presume, Tracer/Torb, who I presume one or both of them are going to die here, right? You could have saved your Tracer here. You could be here helping your Torb or trading, right, getting a kill while they're on the Torb. Like those deaths, like are they making mistakes? Absolutely. They're way out of position, but so were you, right? So you need to minimize your mistakes and help capitalize on enemy mistakes and help save your teammates from their own mistakes. Right? You're very, very much part of the problem. You don't look any better than anyone else in this game. It's very, very important to know. All right, you're going to come out again. We'll do maybe this one last fight. So there's no point in you running out first. There's plenty of time for the cart to get here, right? Somebody's going to touch this. You should focus on, look, how can I get line of sight to make sure I can heal my team and attack the enemy, right? If you go for the flank here, I mean, fine, so be it, but you should heal your Echo right now. Healing is free. Right? Healing is free. It's not like you have a chance to attack someone anyway, so you might as well get this heal off on the Echo. You're slow to react to this. As a result, Echo is super low right now. She's at half health, and you don't get the heal. You're wasting a ton of time right now, not doing anything of value. Right? Your Sigma wants to push. Right? Your Sigma's trying to push out the door. He's trying to contest the cart, but he's like, okay, I'm contesting. He's not getting healed. He's at 236 health, and he's like, oh, I guess I can't contest. And then he walks backwards, and the cart is going to cap here because of it. And what are you doing? Nothing. Right? It's like you could have healed the Echo, you didn't. You could be pressuring them. You could have, for example, climbed up here and been attacking from here. You didn't. You could have healed the Sigma. You didn't. You could have Kitsune rushed here, right? Down a path like this to help your Sigma get out the door faster, do more damage, and you didn't. You're literally not doing anything, right? Like even all this healing that you thought was on target hits the wall because you're too far away. So none of this healing gets to the Sigma, right? This Suzu doesn't help your Sigma at all, and you lose the point, right? So it's way less about like, hey, my teammates are all dying because like I'm going on flanks or like damage focused playstyle or whatever. You're literally not doing anything in the game. And then you get picked in really bad ways. And I haven't seen the rest of this game, but I'm pretty sure the whole game is going to look like this, right? I would encourage you to simplify your playstyle a ton, right? Don't worry about flanks because you don't know when to go on flanks. You know what I mean? Like that's a much more advanced thing to think about, and I don't think maybe Awkward's advice means anything to you right now in a way that you're going to connect with. I think that what would make far more sense would be, okay, we need to contest the point. Who's going to contest the point? It's going to be my tank. I'm going to stay behind my tank, keep him alive on the way in, and then once I have the opportunity, weave attacks in, right? Sigma's going out the door, great. Heal, attack, right? On the Kiriko, right? 1 kunai, 2 kunai. Heal the Sigma, attack, heal, attack. Oh, Sigma getting low? Suzu. Great. Attack. I'm getting pressured. Swift step to the Echo. Heal the Sigma. Attack. Repeat. Just keep it simple. Keep it really simple. Okay? You're trying to do like these super advanced like 200 IQ strats, but you have no idea when to do them. And you lack the mechanical skill to do them as well. So there's like so many things that are going wrong here that are preventing you from like having a very baseline level of value added to the game. I'm going to stop there. Hopefully this is helpful.